Sam, you play ball.
Please,
Nah, come on.
please.
I'm being
Sam,
deadly
no,
serious.
Sam.
Nah.
But if you're on a
You play
yellow,
ball.
like,
Yeah.
You're on a yellow.
you're on a
come
yellow.
no.
Anything you do, you are on a
You
yellow.
win when we play football. I'm not having this. When you're walking away and the ball's there, you lot just...
Please, the
ball's just
microphone is there. Don't make boxes.
Oh, you lot just give a slight little tap as you're just walking.
No,
like,
but it's
No, it's
been
not.
there. It's Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Keep It 90. Come on. Yeah, we're back in. Everyone's inside as well. Sorry for not being here last week, but we had a few mishaps, but we're here, committed, and everyone is sorry. Yeah, aren't we?
Yeah, no,
Everyone.
Some
Hold on.
even meant to be here.
Some of us weren't even in the city of London, yeah?
No, that's all right, because you could have still been there online. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, we'll be a lot better this season.
About to drag your shirt.
Yeah. Would have jumped in.
Before we get into ball, how's everyone's weeks been? You know, we've been away for 2 weeks now. International break.
boy.
Won't touch on that too much. But yeah, ladies, you were at the FIFA E Football Manager World Cup event. Is that what it's called?
Actually, it's called the FIFA E World Cup Tournament featuring Football Manager.
Okay. How was it? Did you guys play?
Yeah, we played still.
Yeah?
Good.
You did well.
Yeah.
No, but wait, so it was a tournament about Football Manager, yeah? Or there was, so
It was
I'm so sorry,
a
Shiz,
football
you can
manager.
lie. She said, yeah, we did well. We did well. We did play.
okay.
But yeah, no, it was like a football manager tournament, and it was like people representing their countries.
Yeah.
And they were just literally going head to head with one another. Then the finals, it was like 2 countries, and then there was another 2 countries. They went head to head, and then obviously they pick a winner.
How
which was
hard could that
Indonesia.
really be? Like when you're watching
no,
it, yeah.
no.
Question.
They were
hard.
on it for at least 11 hours each
A day, and we were there for about 4 days.
Extreme.
Wait,
Yeah,
but my
it's
question
insane.
is, you see how you said it was countries? What are they using their country to play, or are they picking personal teams? Like, how did the format work?
For the group stage, right, they had different teams that they were assigned to. So there was Group A that had, I think, Sporting. Another team had FC Marinos. Another team had Brighton. Another team had another team. I think it was Oklahoma or some. Maybe because we were talking about Oklahoma before. I don't know. Probably wasn't called Oklahoma. But each group had a team that they had to build on, so they had to use their players, and obviously Brighton faced Brighton's opponents and faced Sporting's opponents, stuff like that. And then obviously you take your team to the Champions League. You either win the Champions League or you don't win the Champions League, and you're basically facing head to head in with people in your group. And whoever finishes that group the highest with like the most trophies, the most points at the end of the season. So there were 3 seasons. Each season racks up to your points, and whoever finishes first in each group will go to the semis, and the semis you battle it out. Then you get to the finals, which Indonesia was in. And we said Indonesia was going to win.
It was going to win
Committed.
still.
Yeah.
can't lie.
Indonesia versus Germany in the end. And in the semi-finals, Germany faced South Africa. And they beat South Africa like 7-0 or some shit.
Swear.
They as in South Africa,
What?
they were changing their tactics. You could see them changing their tactics, Nothing was working.
Really?
was working.
Nothing. So then England faced Indonesia, and that was a bit of a tighter match. I was really tired during that match, but I know she's watched that match. I was tired
It was
during that match.
good.
Yeah.
It was good. Like, you know, when like it's like England will score and then Indonesia will score, and everyone's like, oh, I think England might have this. And then Indonesia out of nowhere will just pull out one next super Pokemon card, boom. And the thing is, like, we see with the Indonesian guys, they had such a good tactic, and their tactic was that they didn't tell anybody their tactic.
In what sense?
Like,
Wait,
they
so-
didn't tell anyone what they were going to do. Like, you see, like, everyone else was like, yeah, you know what? We said that this wasn't going to work. So, do you know what? Tomorrow, we're going to try do this and try do that. And we're going to go with this tactic, and we're going to try play free at the back. And all of this stuff, they were talking about what they was going to do. So, Indonesia was just sitting there like, yeah, okay. We're going to do that. Okay. They didn't tell anybody their tactic.
Love
And
that.
boom, they just won it, man. It was such a well-deserved
Imagine
win.
losing the final. So there's 2 legs, right? Imagine losing the final. I think it was 8-2.
Oh,
They got spanked at home and away.
That's
Germany.
crazy. Wait, was Indonesia the ones that I saw wearing suits, or was that someone else?
Yeah.
They wore suits.
Yeah.
Respect it, man. They
Yeah.
deserve to
I'm
win.
not gonna lie.
They
All
all
the
took it
managers,
seriously.
all
They
of the
all went
managers,
on
they
the
wore
last day.
suits.
That's
Yeah.
that's
It was
commitment to the
serious.
cause.
They
you
had,
know?
they had press conferences. John
Yeah,
Terry
that
was
was lit.
asking them questions.
Yeah.
Hasselhoff
No
was
way.
asking them
They were
questions.
living their
Yeah.
dreams
They were
out.
living life.
Proper.
That's so
Proper.
joy.
Imagine watching like proper football legends asking you like
Questions
Bro,
about a game.
But
They
they were
must
even asking because some Allardyce was like, "Oh, could you see yourself doing this like as an actual career? Because obviously you're doing this like for a game. Like, could you see them doing it as a career?" Some of them were like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind." Some were like, "Nah, I like the game. I don't." That's like managing
crazy
people is
how
the next
gaming's
level.
changed.
But
Like so we used to really game as a fantasy to be them players, but now them players are actually asking us about the game.
Yeah, crazy.
crazy.
Insane,
crazy,
innit?
crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, I love that. And it was in Liverpool, right?
yeah,
Love that.
Liverpool.
Love that. Well
Liverpool.
played. Well played. If you haven't seen the content, it is on the Keep It 90 Instagram and TikTok, I believe. Man, then what were
There's
we on?
more coming out by the way. Just to FYI.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, be
yes.
quick with that, man.
It's all
I'm
correct.
joking.
I drag you by your singlet.
I'm joking. What were you man on this weekend? Just chilling. International football. When you watch England?
I watched
Briefly.
Yeah, when I actually, it was like, oh yeah, they're playing. You know what? It's just because we just came out of that international run, and I was like, oh yeah, like England's playing. So I locked in just after the second goal, and then I was like, all right.
Yeah. Game
yeah,
done.
it was all
Game
right.
done.
Yeah, it was just all right.
What you
I
say,
chose to
Coach?
sleep.
Is
Sorry, apologies. I chose to sleep. On
That's
the
not good,
Saturday.
man.
It
It's a
was-
new dawn for
It's
England.
a Saturday night, and it's not really a new dawn if you're going back to old ways. But anyway,
No,
sorry.
it's not old ways though.
Whoa,
Carsley's a bit
whoa,
different
whoa.
still. He's a bit
He's
different.
not. He's not going to be the manager for long anyway.
Yeah, potentially, but the players
By
seem
the
to
grace of
like him.
God.
Who do you want it to be?
I need a winner. Okay.
Interesting.
And I'm not.
He won under 21s though, and the last two winners
That is
of the World
absolutely
Cup, I believe, and the
great.
Euros have both promoted internally, and they came from
Do you
under
know
21s.
what? That is absolutely fine, right? I don't want an English winner.
Wow.
I want a foreign.
He's not English though.
Where is he from?
I think he's from Ireland.
I don't want to.
I think
I
so.
don't want
Where did I hear that
anyone
from?
in this vicinity. Okay. I just don't. I
Because
want.
did you not see the controversy around him singing the national anthem?
Yeah, he didn't sing it.
He didn't sing it.
But then
and-
again, it's
Well,
like
if he's not from,
he's not
then why do
England.
you expect him to
I
sing
don't.
it?
know what
I
I
can't.
mean?
Don't quote me on that. But I've got. I feel like I saw somewhere that it said that he's not, because they said Grealish and Rice. Obviously, they're both bagged, and they originally
Oh yeah,
represented
there
the
was
Republic of Ireland.
Word about that.
But yeah, that's interesting though, because I think the players like him, the fans seem to like his football. Some didn't like the fact that he didn't sing the national anthem, but
Yeah, he's Irish.
that's
by the way.
life. He's Irish.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So he's a bit different. You know what I mean? A bit different.
No, sorry.
And he
Apologies.
promoted Gomez and them, man. Like I rate that.
Because he won with them.
Exactly.
He knows them all, and that's a good sign that he knows them all. He brought them all up. That's fine. I want a winner.
Fair.
That's just me. That's
Fair,
it.
fair, fair.
But I did like his selection.
Love that. Copes, what were you saying? We went to before we even move on to the ball. We went to a sick NFL event actually.
Oh yeah.
That was quality.
I'm
You
jealous.
guys had your
I'm
you guys had your
jealous.
esports.
I was
We
watching
went
all
to
of your
NFL.
stories. I was
Yeah,
was
into the mansion. That was beautiful actually. That house.
Yeah,
Goals.
I need money in this life.
Yeah, I need that
Yeah,
still.
I
I need that. You know the ones where you're in life, you're thinking, should I be content or should I really try and get more money? You know when you get into that yard, you're thinking, I need money. I need that, because that house had like 8 rooms, a pool. It had a shed at the back with pool table and that garden house. Yeah, like
Table.
it was levels still, but the event itself was
quality.
quality.
Was good. I don't know if you-
Yeah, well, you know.
No, it's best. No. What happened
Sam
was
started cheating.
no.
and he lost.
What
Yeah, I saw the
wait,
footage
wait,
still. You
wait.
start
Can I
sticking-
just be honest? Yeah, we were playing pool. Yeah, and I was winning convincingly.
Okay.
And then everyone literally started coming in. Yeah, and was just preying on my downfall. I had like 4 people questioning how I hold the cue, whatever it's called. I even know what it's called, because they'll say that's not how you hold it. That's not what it's called. And then the pressure got to me. Could have won it, didn't. Copes did, and yeah, man.
See, pressure for tires, not for champions, mate.
Just gotta be
Wow.
cool, calm, collective.
Wow. We'll go again though. We'll go
Oh,
again.
yeah.
We can go to the pub next door if you really want it.
Tell you thinking about it.
Yeah.
No, I saw your reel and that annoyed me still. I was like,
Look
no.
at your face. You can tell you were like, okay.
No, but it was good vibes though. Like in terms of NFL's back, I want to get more locked in this season. Haven't really been locked in like that.
Red zone guys on Sunday.
Yeah, what to stay tuned to everything,
I've
right?
got a Raiders jersey with that. Are they good?
I'm actually not sure.
Have you got it from Oakland or where did they just move to?
Las Vegas. I got it from Oakland.
They weren't the greatest then.
I got it from Las Vegas then.
Yeah, you're with the you're the
Las
new dawn.
Vegas.
New
I'm the-
dawn.
yeah, new kid on the block.
Okay.
Let's get straight into the ball anyway, because as you can tell, the international ball. That's why we've been talking about everything else. But we thought we might as well reflect on the season so far, what the first month has taught us, because there's been a lot that has happened. There's been goal scorers. There's been teams that haven't done as well as we thought they would. I'd say let's start at the top. We have to start with Manchester City and Erling Haaland. Can he be stopped? Is this going to be the best Haaland we have ever seen by what we've seen so far? Because 7 goals, 2 hat-tricks, every type of goal.
Yeah.
Like, no Rodri for the first few games for City as well, and they've looked calm and comfortable. Got Gundogan back. Can they be stopped? Savinho looks like Mahrez. Don't know what's happening there. Can they be stopped?
No.
Whoa! Whoa!
Haaland can't be stopped. What can I say?
Yeah, unless he gets injured.
He's like the best goal scorer that we have seen in recent times in the Premier League. Like, he's dumb.
He's pissed me off.
He's dumb. No, genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, just jarring. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I want him out of my league.
Just
I
go away.
really want him
Nah.
out of my league.
He's genuinely pissed me off. And the reason I thought he wasn't even going to do that well, and then what's mad is FPL.
Oh, you've bet against him.
FPL, he was 15 million, and I thought, you know what, this year he's costing too much. And I don't think he's going to be that good.
You
So
thought.
because of that, I thought, you know what, I'll just pick,
Around.
Yeah,
Same.
pick around. Just pick around. This mother. How dare you?
Back to back, bro.
All them goals. I thought, how dare you?
Bro, the first hat-trick here, I was like, alright, cool. That one burnt me, but I still got enough points, so I didn't feel it like that. The next week, I was like, alright, cool. Can I try and find a way to get him into the squad? It weren't making sense. So I just tried to accommodate without him. He scored another hat-trick.
You're
And
ridiculous.
yeah, bro.
You're
I'm
ridiculous.
using my wild card now. I have to, and I'm getting him in.
have to.
I'm
You
going to
have
captain
to.
him every week.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to not.
I
like-
didn't captain him my first week. I said never again. Never
Yeah,
again.
big mistake, man.
What's
I don't know
wrong?
who the hell I thought I was,
Come on, man.
Can't relate.
Come on, man.
Well, you have him.
Of course.
Captain.
You know.
Bin had him.
Yeah,
captain.
fair enough.
Bin had.
Come on, you don't bet against Haaland. You just
You know what?
you
It's
don't
because
do
last
it.
year he was good, but because like Watkins scored 20 here, Havertz scored whatever he scored.
Isak.
The difference is they
They will start a bit slow.
yeah,
They'll
that's the
start
difference.
slower.
They will start slow, but Haaland is a robot. That you just press the on
Hit
button.
the ground
No,
running.
but that's the thing. City don't normally start this fast. Like, this is the fastest they've started. And Pep even put out a quote recently that was even scarier, saying that this was just like this was pre-season. After the international break, we go. That's not like good, innit? Like what people are saying about the Farmers League and it being the Premier League, yeah. It's interesting because we're at a stage where we still have teams that are doing so well. Like Liverpool have started well.
Very well.
Arsenal have still started well, even though they had the hiccup with Brighton. Drawing that game isn't the worst.
Yeah, Kavanagh.
Is
Did I
it?
say it's
Kavanagh.
Kavanagh?
Right.
No, well, let's go. We'll go into that. We'll go into that. But we'll go into that. But
discuss that.
drawing that game isn't necessarily the worst. We've had Brighton start well. Like, there's still teams that are doing well, but City just look so invincible. It's actually worrying.
I think, and this is just a theory, they're gonna start really well this time. But will they have the legs to continue it towards the latter end? Yeah, get a load of me. I'm trying to hold it.
I want to believe you, but my heart's just like, man,
As I was saying it, I was like,
girl, get your ass.
never mind, false alarm.
You know them ones where you gotta create different storylines just for it to be exciting. Like that is so funny. No, it's crazy. It's
We
crazy.
tried to do that last season with Klopp. Remember, we tried to say Klopp was
Yeah.
going to do it because it was his retirement. Come
But
on,
the
man,
thing is, they
calm down.
should have.
It's
They
business-
should have.
Nah, it's business end. And the thing is, if this is Man City now, I'm scared for business end Man City because that's
Yeah.
when you really see who they are and what they're about.
But all we can hope for is a bust up, a Lukaku kind of interview from one of the players.
It just doesn't
All
happen though.
I really want.
Like they're just too structured.
And do
Like
you know
even
what's
players that
crazy?
aren't playing are happy.
I feel like if Pep decides to leave this season as well, it'll be even scarier.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be when they come to Chelsea, it'll be a 6-0, hun.
Nah,
It'll be
not my Chelsea.
It's happened before.
Nah, that was years back. That was years back, not this Chelsea. But we'll go into that as well.
Come,
But
we got a game out of the way anyway.
Yeah, we got that game out of the way.
yeah.
Exactly.
When we go there, don't worry,
When
the
we go
return
there, we'll
fixture.
give them a little time. So we're all saying that City are going to win the league straight because it's just Haaland's on a madness, which is fair enough. Let's move on to Arsenal because obviously you were the closest contenders.
Still are.
Closest contenders to them. I'd say Liverpool are probably ahead of them as we speak. Yeah, currently in terms of form, in terms of how they're playing, and had a big game out of the way, and they've performed really well. But in terms of Arsenal, you were the top contenders for the last 2 seasons. You won 2 games, drawn 1. How are you all feeling? I don't know. Maybe it's the M2K that's got to me. I don't know what I thought. But how you not feeling? How you not feeling about your chances this season of getting silverware? Because we've spoke about it on this pod multiple times, and yes, it's just the first month, but we are seeing that you have to be perfect from the start to beat this City side. And if Arsenal don't win a major trophy this season, it will be a failure. So how are you feeling?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm in so many different minds. It's like one minute I'm like, I think starting from like our transfers, it's like, I don't want to just... Nia. Apologies.
Don't get distracted.
Yeah, don't get caught up.
Television. No, but going from like our transfers and stuff, like it's like we got Nketiah's gone, Smith Rowe's gone.
Good business out.
It's good business out,
Yeah.
but I'm worried about our depth a little bit, and I don't want it to just be like, focus on Premier League, focus on Champions League, because we've done that the last 2 seasons and we didn't win no silverware. I also want us to start looking at the other cups, like the Carabao, the FA. That's not where I want it to stay, but I want us to be more serious in that regard. But if we're getting rid of like all of these players now, it's like, who are we going to have to really compete there? Do you know what I mean? And Jesus is like forever injured, and it's like we're just having to rely solely on Havertz, and I'm not mad at that. But the Villa game taught me a lot. I wasn't happy with the performance at all during that game. Like, I just felt like mentality is what's going to win us the league. If we want to win, we have to... It's obviously it's our ability. We know we have the ability, but mentality is really what's going to take it over the line. Our mentality was crap in that whole first half against Aston Villa. It's only when Trossard came on, scored the goal, then all of a sudden everyone's limbs are starting to flow. And I'm like, all right, cool, we're doing something. And then, cool, we got that over the line, fine. And then Brighton, and then that whole game just pissed me off because sorry, I don't care.
That's not the opinion of the whole pod.
Yeah, but it's the opinion of Shiz and Copes.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
No, let's be honest now. Like, it's 2 yellow cards in it. Whether we like to admit it or not, it was soft and it could have gone the other way. But you don't do that if you're on the yellow.
It's consistency.
No,
You don't believe that.
Consistency.
genuinely.
Consistency is what I asked for. Be
It was 2
consistent.
yellows, but
It's
the
2
lack of
yellows, but we
consistency
don't
throughout
like
the
it.
game
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
pissed me off.
facts,
That's what
facts,
pissed me off.
facts.
That's it.
I don't like
It was
that decision.
ridiculous.
I don't like that decision. But if I'm looking at a side that wants to win every game, you have to do your utmost best to stay on the pitch, because you know any advantage you give the opposing side, they will use it against you.
That's 100 still.
So look at it straight. All right, you lot saying that's 2 yellows. So
Yeah.
Veltman did nothing there. He didn't delay time. He didn't purposely put in front of Rice. He didn't whack right. Like, are we really saying it?
Just because 2 wrongs don't
Don't
make
make
it
it
right.
My point, no.
So then wrong him
so,
too.
Yeah, so you got to
Oh, no,
cancel
yeah,
that. So you
100%.
can't.
I agree. The consistency was in the bin that entire match from minute 1 to 90. However, it doesn't take away the fact that Declan Rice deserved to be sent off.
Based off what?
Based
Because
off-
he kicked the ball away.
Veltman has
the slightest touch.
Veltman has put the ball into Rice's part. He actually hit Rice.
But the
ball actually hit Rice.
But if it went to VAR, you could see that it was kicked away by Rice. He knows what he's doing. And the worst thing about it is, he made a meal of it by going to the ground. He made it more of a situation.
No,
But he kicked
You lot. Like, deep what we're saying.
No, you lot are trolling me.
All right, can I
No, they're
do
trolling,
one
yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
say one thing, yeah? Right, I'm just going to say one thing about the scenario, yeah? Inconsistency, first of all, I agree. Rice made that referee play his cards.
Make a decision.
Yeah.
Because do you know what it is? I'm not saying all of that, but we've seen that in football before. Remember, Diego Costa, he used to do it all the time. How many incidents where you see a headbutt happen, but there was all this before? And I feel like the referee might have let that slide if Rice didn't drop to the floor.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
He made a meal of it.
So then what is the issue? What's the infraction here? Is it the fact that he fell to the ground, or was it the fact that he was delaying time?
Yes, no. The fact that he fell to the ground then the referee now has to come over and assess
make
that
a decision.
situation.
Exactly.
You forced his hand.
Hold on,
That's just my opinion.
Wait. All right,
Please,
force
man,
hand, hold
this
on.
happens in games all the
If
time,
we
you're
watch the whole thing, and you lot were saying about going to VAR, it started with the ball was stationary. So therefore, Veltman, wherever you were, hold on, that's where the free kick should have been taken.
And then he
has kicked the ball
towards Rice.
So you already delaying play. You've then gone to swipe the ball, quote unquote, which we all know he wasn't going to because we all play ball. He went to go kick Rice.
We know that. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what he was doing. So
But
first
you
of all,
lot, you're
And the
just
ball
not.
was
You're
moving,
not.
so
and the ball was
he
moving,
wouldn't
so
have
that
taken a
was-
free
but
kick
he
if
was
the
never
ball was
taking-
moving.
This is the mentality that won't get you over the line, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying no because
move
no
on.
way.
Nah,
You know
let's
why?
move on.
Yeah, because it's
Let's move on.
actually a victim mentality. Like
not about victim.
certain things. No, it
Not
is
a victim
genuinely
mentality,
no
if the same thing happened to you and
I
you
would be
know that
upset.
you're in a
I would be
title race,
upset.
you're gonna feel away.
Exactly.
No?
I would be upset, yeah. But
Okay.
I would be more upset at the fact that I have a player that is so important to our system that made a split-second decision that impacted him being on the pitch or not. Whether or not it was
please.
soft or
Sam,
not.
you play ball.
Please.
Nah, come on.
Please.
I'm being
Sam,
deadly
no.
serious. Nah.
But if you're
No,
on a
you play
yellow,
ball.
like,
Yeah.
You're on a yellow.
you're on
come
a yellow.
man.
Anything you do, you are on a
You've all been
yellow.
there when we're playing football. I'm not having this. When you're walking away and the ball's there and you lot just...
Please, the
ball's just
microphone is there. Don't make Bonsi's
Oh,
job
you lot
hard.
just give a slight little tap as you're just walking.
No,
like,
but it's-
No, it's
no, but
fact.
it's-
It's fact.
And what
I'm
happens-
saying-
the
It's a
worst bit is the
It
ball
is a
is there
fact.
because
But everyone's
Veltman-
complaining
okay.
about no. Come
No,
on,
listen,
man.
listen.
Because
Don't
he
get
was on
twisted.
I bet
So
you
wait,
anyway,
do you lot
he wouldn't have
sanction-
got
alright.
he wouldn't have got a first yellow if he hadn't had the yellow
Can I
before that
ask
for
you a
that
question?
same
Can I ask you a
situation. He
question?
would
Was
not.
that kick enough to drop Rice to the floor?
Yes,
Right,
he
well,
booted the ball
let's
at
put it this
him.
way.
Stop it.
Actually, hold on a minute. Let's put it this way.
Ouch! It hurts.
Before they gave the second yellow, but listen, let's talk about it though. Did you watch the game? Did you guys actually watch the
Yeah,
game?
I watched it.
So when everyone was thinking Veltman's getting sent off here,
Yes, everyone
everybody
said it.
I didn't
Even
hear
the
that.
commentators even
everybody
said it.
thought Veltman's getting sent off here
Commentators said
because
it.
when
Yeah.
we watched it, he gave Rice a proper like I'm kicking you because they were
Yeah.
tossing prior to that. So it wasn't a case of Rice is just fall on the floor. Oh, woe is me. Like
Yeah.
Veltman knew what
No,
he
but
was
that's
doing.
my issue is that
Rice
like,
was even walking
I didn't
away.
know- I didn't know
If
Cavani
Rice
even
was being an
saw.
antagonist, I'd understand he was walking away, bro, and you still can continue to do that situation, and then yet he gets the infraction.
He kicks the like
He hit
at
the
the end
ball
of
to
the
him
day.
first, but he
and
was
you know
walking
what?
away,
I-
Sam. Come on.
Sorry, but
Do
do
we
you know-
want to watch it VAR? We can watch it
What's
here.
mad? Do you know how many times we had to watch it on
Come on.
the TV to realize, wait, why is Rice getting a second yellow?
I ain't even gonna lie. I was looking at TV like, who's walking off?
Everyone was confused. We were dumbfounded.
No,
and
no,
and all of a sudden,
But by the letter of the law.
Oh, come on.
Guys.
So by the
Yeah,
letter
just
of
by
the law,
just by
João
the letter of
Pedro
the
should have been carded too.
Exactly,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
fine,
So
that's
all I'm
fine.
talking about is consistency.
Yeah,
Because if you're
we're
not going to be
saying the same
consistent,
thing.
then go talk to Veltman.
You know
We're
what?
saying the
Shit,
same thing.
But
We're
we're
saying
saying
the
the same
same
because
thing.
you.
All right.
Hopes on the
Yeah,
other
you
hand
lot,
is
that's
saying
what I'm saying.
no,
The
no,
victim
no.
mentality.
But
because
let me
we know what the refs in this league are on.
Yeah,
So
we
you can't try to act. If you're having a game,
I'm
think
sorry,
about it.
man.
If I'm a
You're on the
manager,
yellow.
if
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
manager, yeah, and I know, and let's not go on because this isn't even that important. You drew the game. If we didn't
No,
lose,
it's
you know what I mean.
important.
But if I'm a
now we-
if I'm a manager,
No, it's
yeah,
important.
if you're a manager, for example, you know a ref is not having a good game. You know he's given easy yellows or he's given easy free kicks. You know he's not in your favor. You will
never
tell
in our
your
favour.
okay.
'Cause
So
he
if that
supports
is
Man
okay,
City.
so if that's the case, yeah. You should tell your team, don't give him the opportunity. We say this at Sunday League, Saturday League, the same thing. Don't give him the opportunity. If you're being honest, let's actually be honest.
Rice
like,
was
He was
walking
so
away.
weak.
He kicked the
No, he
ball
was,
away.
no.
So, like,
Rice
let's
was
actually-
walking
Sam.
away.
Okay, did he kick the ball away?
It was a tap,
Yes or
bro.
no?
He just
See,
tapped it.
you're not honest.
The smallest
You're
tap.
not allowed. See, you're not
Are you
being
allowed to
honest.
kick the
You're
ball
not
down
being
that how
honest.
many yards down the
No,
pitch?
you're talking about no, but this
See,
is
you
now,
lot aren't being
now,
honest.
This
There's
is
no point
why
in
now.
this.
This is why now. If this was caught and it was two, you're both going jail.
Yeah,
then.
'cause-
And
All right.
I'm saying the difference is, and this is where Sam was kind of going with champions mentality. You got to be mature enough to say, I know what you're on. I'm not
All
on
right, so
that.
you,
How many
and
red
you
cards
just,
have
you
you
just
seen?
asked
Man,
me,
get
after he
that.
tapped the ball, you said, is he allowed to do that? Is Veltman allowed to take a free kick because
You're
the ball's
talking about-
moving?
you're
But
talking about-
is he?
Let the
Because
refs
he was
stop that.
kicking the
Let
ball.
the refs stop that.
It's moving.
No, but
Let the
Shiz,
refs stop that.
what you're doing is deflecting. I'm saying
Exactly.
the fact is,
And do you know what?
Yes,
Do you know
the
what it
main
is?
question is, did he kick the ball?
He
yes or no?
did.
Yes.
If he did,
No, he
yellow card.
tapped
That's it.
it. He tapped
Okay,
it.
That's it.
but can I just say,
Don't
can
say
I
that.
give
Are
an
you
meant to do that?
example? Can
Are
I
you
give an
meant to
But
do
be
that?
example?
consistent then.
Let me
No,
give
But
it.
are you
no,
but are you
you're
allowed
going
to?
away
Are you
from
allowed?
the
Are
point.
you
You're
allowed?
going away
Are
from
you
the
allowed
first
to take a
point.
free kick if the ball's moving?
But
So
you're-
there's
you're-
so
no,
many
but-
things
no,
going
but
at one
you lot
time
are-
that you
You're going
only
away
give
from-
a fraction.
It's poor, man.
No,
That's
no,
poor.
we
That's
agree
I feel
with
like,
it.
Sorry,
I
I'm
feel
not
like
having
with the
it.
mentality
I'm
thing,
not having
yeah,
it.
with the mentality thing,
We
please
agree
don't
with
bite
the
me, don't bite me, don't bite me.
Nah, you lot aren't honest, man. It's It's not good.
What
With the
honest.
mentality thing, though, Sam's right in a sense where if you think back a couple years ago when Man City played Atletico Madrid and they were pounding them, right? And the ref wasn't really giving like the fouls that Man City deserved. And Pep Guardiola on the sidelines kept telling them, keep your head, keep your head, keep your head. And you go into the dressing room, you know what kind of match it is. Your manager tells you, you got to keep your head. This ref ain't on our side. Atletico Madrid players are moving mad. Keep your head. For your player has to, unfortunately, it's just how life is, right? I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that the ref did anything right because he didn't. The ref was shocking the entire match, right? But you know what the ref is on. You know what your opponents are on. You have to keep your head that entire time, especially with someone of a pedigree of Declan Rice.
That's so important to the side.
You've got to keep your head.
But you're not being
important.
It's
a second yellow,
no matter what. You know what you lot
It
keep on
is.
doing, yeah? You keep on making excuses, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
No one's
no,
making-
no,
no,
you
no,
literally
I
are.
don't- no,
No,
I'm
but
not
no,
making-
no.
no.
What you're actually, the thing is, yeah, what you're gonna say now
Yeah.
is going to be an excuse regardless. Because if you can admit that he kicked the ball away, regardless if the ball was rolling or even if the ball was rolling and he was still stood in front of that ball, the ref is gonna see that you are standing in front of the ball because you're not supposed to be there. So regardless of
lie.
that,
He was walking away.
Come
but
on.
okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
we
Let's
gotta
move
move
on.
on, yeah.
Let's move on.
I beg.
Let's
We're
move on.
here all day.
And it's actually sad that this exact mentality of Arsenal. I've only seen a few Arsenal fans that have been honest. Like, bro,
You're not honest.
you-
This is the
you-
problem.
you-
It's because
you
it
couldn't-
happens to Arsenal, you lot don't want to be honest.
Yeah.
If it happened to us, I'd be vexed. but I'd still
Name
tell
me
the
another
player.
time in the Premier League you've seen that rubbish. Name it to
What
me.
rubbish in the
time.
Premier League?
Name me.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Do you not remember? Do you not remember Maguire kicked? Who was it in the back? The Chelsea player.
Aspilicueta.
Yeah, right in his back. He kicked him
Come on.
right in his back.
We've
and pushed
seen
him
this
back.
happen
Why?
so
And
many
he kicked him.
times.
And he kicked
Come
him
on,
straight
man.
in his back. And then he reacted. And then it was us that got the card.
We've seen
Bro,
this
it
so many
happens
times.
every season.
If
but
you
what
want to
it
talk,
is-
if you want to go ban for
we
ban
can go
for
ban for ban, bro.
go
I've
ban
seen-
for ban.
I've seen Chelsea do it wrong. I remember when Bosingo kicked someone at the corner flag and didn't get carded for it. It was a joke. I think it was really.
And
like,
let me
there's
not bring
been-
you back to 2009 in the Champions League.
when Drogba with the Chelsea and Barcelona. So we've been there. What I'm trying to say is that what it is that we have to sometimes, even though the inconsistencies and the referee is so silly for it, sometimes for every single spade we got to call it. Yes, your spade got called, and that's just unfortunate. But that happens. If
It happens.
That does happen.
Just accept
Like,
that
bro.
because he made a mistake. But let's move on
made a
anyway
mistake.
because and it's now he's got the next game is the North London derby.
Yep.
Moreno's out because he got injured during
Declan Rice can't play.
during training.
Cool, have
So,
Jorginho.
so yeah, Jorginho and the man, like that's what I'm saying. It's
it's
looking
likely
it's
that-
looking like an uphill battle for
Yeah.
Arsenal, while City
don't
just
think so.
seem like they're close
don't
to
Yeah,
it.
but I
think so.
feel like City have. I'm not gonna say they had an easy start, but like
They have an easier
they've
start.
had nice
They've had
games.
an
Yeah,
like,
for sure, for
They've
sure.
had a
Nice
bit
games.
of rough games, but either
Sometimes
way,
it's better to get
either
it out
way,
of the way,
it's the first 3 games of the season, so
For
there's
sure.
a lot more to come.
The other team that is in this conversation is Liverpool, who have also won all 3 games. I don't think they've conceded.
Give me
They
Diaz,
haven't.
man.
I don't think they've
haven't.
conceded.
Luis Diaz.
Diaz
I want
looks
him, man.
like he's on fire. Salah looks like he's enjoying life. They've got 3 players that are in their last years of contracts.
Yeah,
They've
he
spoke
said
about
something
it,
Very interesting. Yeah.
but
Salah said it's
at the
his last
same
year,
time,
Did say, yeah.
they're still handling it very professionally. So what we saying for Liverpool? Are we shocked that they're doing so well?
yes.
For me, right, and Liverpool are my dark horses anyway. So I think darkly they're gonna win the Premier League.
Okay.
Wow.
That's me. Because the performances that they're putting in right now, it just seems like very professional performances. 1, 2. I think it was against Ipswich. They didn't have a great first half. I don't know what happens in that dressing room at half time, but each half time they take it up like a couple gears. And I'm just so impressed with how the front 3 are playing as well. And their midfield, everything about their team right now is spotless.
And it's even scary that Chiesa, that is now there, we don't even know,
We don't know
What
what
he's
he's gonna
gonna be
bring
on.
to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
And if he even is, we was talking about this on the way back from NFL. If he's even at 70 to 80% of what
peak.
we have seen
What
at
he's
his
capable
best,
of.
it is dark.
Yeah, it's peak.
Over.
And you know why we have to actually rate Slot a lot, yeah? Because he came into probably one of the hardest
is
jobs
silent,
in
man.
in the world. Following after Klopp is not easy for anyone. And then like stamping your own football into a team that was so used to a particular style. Everyone looks happy. He's making changes like the Trent getting subbed off, not looking happy, but the week after he's smiling even when he's been subbed off. So obviously there's a conversation there. Gravenberch, who never looked comfortable
never
under
looked-
Klopp,
he looked like the
now
man in
he's
the
the
midfield.
sixth.
Now he
Now
looks
he's the
like the
sixth that
midfield.
they've needed.
Bro.
They've needed. So it is actually is very like you've got to commend him for what he has done to the Liverpool side, and the 3-0 win against United was
That's the main
was
two
too
games.
comfortable.
If Liverpool win this league, I will not be surprised at all.
I think the Ipswich game, similar to Anita, it showed me when that first game when I watched them. Obviously, we know it's Ipswich; they just came up. That's a tough game for them.
He switched it up,
But they was on them in the first half, and we was like, "Raw, Liverpool's really done." Like, but it was kind of like we looked at it in a way of expectancy. Like we saw their pre-season weren't great, and I was looking at them like, "Yeah, Liverpool, they're not going to do it." But that second half, it was like they not even in third gear. They just went into second, and it was a steamroll. And then what they done to Man United to dispatch them at their ground.
And it was a
So
real,
simply.
it
It was actually that's the only word. I'm not going to say they battered. No, they just dispatched them.
They said, "All right, now."
Yeah.
They were doing
Like,
the
yeah,
rondos.
it's not a right. Like, they're trying to take like it's not a rivalry no more.
Yeah.
Move.
They were doing rondos.
It was like I was like, oh, we might be in
Do you know
trouble.
what this
here.
reminds me of? Do you remember? Sorry to bring it back to Chelsea, but do you remember when Chelsea, everyone was in their last year of the contract,
Yeah.
and they said, "We've got to go win the
We got to
Champions
win it.
League."
Yeah.
This is the same mentality I'm seeing. Salah, Trent, Van Dijk, all in their last years of their contracts. They want to leave with something.
Yeah.
They want to leave with something.
Yeah, and I think the way Slot broke down how he beat Ten Hag's United side was just like he done it. He broke it down so simply, and I think it was like 2 minutes, but he was so articulate with the way he spoke about it. He's been so like confident in interviews. Because it's like it's come so easy to him. I'm interested to see what happens when Europe's involved, when they're gonna, because you know the schedule is gonna be crazy from now. You know, games every 3 days. Yeah, of course, because they're playing every 3 days. But it's not going to be something that we haven't necessarily seen. But this is why the squad depth thing is such a thing now. And I understand your concern with Arsenal because there's going to be games every 3 days. You're going to need your best players performing week in, week out. But Liverpool seem to have a squad to be able to do that. Like when we're talking about the players that haven't even featured as much in terms of Endo, who's obviously of age, but he's still a CDM. They've got Chiesa to come in. They've got Harvey Elliott that hasn't really featured as well. Gakpo's off. Curtis Jones. They've got Nunes who hasn't really started games as well. They've got covering their back line as well.
And
It's
that's
looking
why
good,
I
man.
think they're gonna win the league because when it comes to depth, they're going bam for bam and City. When it comes to obviously, like I really want Arsenal to win the league. By the way, just putting that out there. Okay, I just feel like I wanted you guys to feel a little bit nice.
Why?
I don't. I just wanted them to feel nice.
Nah, because Coach has been screwing since
Yeah,
that
do you know what I
conversation.
mean?
He ain't
Do you know what I
smiled
mean?
once
I don't
still.
want
He ain't smiled once still.
Nice.
I've been looking at him. He ain't smiled once still.
But
Anyway,
the thing that you brought up, Shiz, about the squad depth, it's actually alarming because you've now sold some good squad players that you could have just brought in on a FA Cup game. Because I'm not being funny, you're right. Even if you guys don't win the Premier League or the Champions League this season,
I want something.
you need something.
But I think they
But-
overstayed their time at the
That's-
club because when you think
personally,
about like Nketiah, Nelson, obviously he's on loan, but Smith Rowe, these are players that they need to be playing week in, week out now. They're at a point where it always happens in football.
Yeah.
Even with like Alvarez, for example, leaving City at the time he won everything and then he's like, okay, cool, I want to play week in, week out.
Yeah.
With those players, Nketiah's never been a starter. He's only ever been a starter when there's been someone injured. Smith Rowe was, and then now he's fallen down the pecking order. Same with Nelson. So it's like, that makes sense, but it's the replacements. Obviously, you guys have got Sterling in, baptized in that now. Big up Sterling. Big up Sterling. Because that was beautiful. I can't lie. When I saw him giving that testimony, it was really nice.
Cooking,
It was
if
really
you're married
nice.
or you're baptized.
Someone said Saka shouted him. I was just like, bro, if you're gonna be at Arsenal, you need to commit your life still.
Do you know what? It's kind of sad, yeah, that he's left Chelsea. He's gone to carry on his journey with God thoroughly, baptism, everything. What is God going to bless him with on that pitch?
No, I hope he does well. I hope he does well.
He's
Not
going
too
to do
well,
well,
but
and
I
we're
hope he
going to
does
be
well.
paying for him to do well. And I don't care. I don't want him to
love
do
that.
well.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
but that is more
Sorry.
depth. That's more. Yeah, bloody hell.
That's
That's more
great,
depth.
and that's great. That's great experience. I feel like that's a good signing.
Oh, such
I
a
feel like,
defo.
especially for Sterling, like I know he frustrated me, and I was crushing him last season. But I mean, like, just in terms of some people need a fresh start in it, and
Like Havertz as well, innit?
Yeah, like they just needed a fresh start.
That was
Sometimes
Literally.
That was
No,
a
no,
big-
literally, no. What you're saying is facts. It's
I feel like-
facts. Some
I feel
players
like
do need a
that's
fresh
so
You
start.
just know
When-
how
Same-
I feel.
Eye
You
pop
know
up.
how I
No,
feel.
because for me, I love Havertz,
how
but
I
it's one of them
feel.
ones where when he was at Chelsea, he hit his time. It was just like there was nothing more.
It gets
I
like
don't
that,
agree.
doesn't it?
to-
No, because
I don't
no,
agree
because
with that.
No, because where we would, I don't want to talk about us, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying where he was at Chelsea, there was just nothing more for him there.
Yeah,
So
you.
it's
like,
it's the same as like Rashford, for example. We know he's quality,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
seems like
Go
he needs
PSG,
a
my
new
brother,
challenge.
go
Yeah.
PSG.
Oh,
Same
he
as Sancho.
does, yeah.
He needed a new
Like,
challenge.
yeah.
You need
Done
a
that.
new
It's
new
done that.
experience.
Yeah.
So,
Havertz could have stayed a couple more years,
but
but no problem.
but the biggest thing with that is that where. And this is what I mean. I don't want to talk about Chelsea.
No,
either,
let's
but,
not do it. Let's
but,
not do it.
but it's
I'm-
more. It's
I'm
more.
really-
I'm,
I'm trolling.
but it's
I'm
the same
It's your
thing. It's the
club.
same thing as the players.
What's your club?
It's the same thing as players just needing new experiences, new environments to make them like feel fresher, feel like they
And you see
belong.
it for Havertz, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, yeah, with Havertz, right? We saw it in him at Chelsea anyway. We just didn't give him enough time to cook.
That's not. I'm not having
How
that.
long was he at your club?
He was at a club for 3 years. He was 3 years.
Oh, he had enough time to cook,
No, but the thing is,
He
done his
won
task,
us the
though.
champion. He
That's
won
what I mean,
Chelsea
he done
the
his task.
Champions
He done
League.
his task.
Like-
And
But the thing
Chelsea
is,
at
yeah,
that point did not have the pieces around him.
I
Yeah.
know Havertz agrees with me.
No, but that's not a thing though. It's not a
He
thing. You
does.
know why it's not though?
He
You know
does
why it's
agree.
not?
He's good,
You know why it's not?
he's good,
Because
he's
when
good
you
at
when you
summer.
look at the players that left during that time,
Yeah.
he wasn't one of those players that you would be regretting. It was more he was at an age that it made sense. Because think about it, Mason Mount had more of an impact for that Chelsea side than Havertz. They both got sold. So it's not a thing of, Havertz had more to give, because you can say that about Mount, you can say that about Kovacic, you can say that about Jorginho. All of these players have gone on to do good things, but the same thing that we're saying, it's about new experiences. Yeah. Chelsea were going in one direction, they wanted the other players on big contracts and that to go in another. So it's not, he could have been all right, but that system, it suits him. But even that, you're still saying, well, there's still Arsenal fans that are saying they need a striker. You need a striker that is going to have 3 chances and score 3 goals. Havertz isn't that striker. He's not a striker. He's a forward. So it's still, you still got the pros and cons with him. But I don't know how we got to that though. What happened to the? Why did we get to this?
We'll talk about new
And the thing
beginnings.
is,
Are
I
you
have
giving Havertz
a
proper?
lot
Talking about
to
squad
say
depth.
on it, but we're not going to go into it. I have a lot to say on it because a
I
lot of
hear
the
him,
things
man.
that
I
you
hear him.
said there.
I hear him.
Millions down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again.
Sing with them then.
Yo guys, you've reached halftime here at Keep It 90. If you like what you hear or see, make sure you give us a follow on all platforms, and also make sure you comment as well. Would love to hear what you lot think.
Let's go
You're one of them.
let's go to United. Let's go on to United. Ten Hag.
Who's that?
Dust.
Ten Hag.
Who's United?
They've had 1 loss, 1 win, 1 draw.
major loss.
Or was it 2 wins?
losses.
2
Two
losses
losses.
and 1 win.
Who did
Who's they lose?
They
Just
lost to Brighton and lost to Liverpool.
And can we put context on that win? Because they scraped.
They did scrape it, but they played
that
better.
was
They did look a lot better in that game. It's interesting with United, because from my perspective, the way I see what they've done in the transfer window, it makes sense in terms of adding depth to their side, yeah. But when you actually look at the players that they brought in, all of those players, if it was at the heights, and obviously you don't want to think of nostalgia too much here, but at the height of United, these players are not coming in to be starters. So it's interesting to see where they are as a club. But then when you see how Ten Hag wants to use them now, you're still seeing Maguire start games, De Ligt come on. It's like he still is trying to figure out his side. And I think United fans thought after this window, it would have just made sense. But they're seeing the same thing that they saw from last season. The chances that they're conceding, the chances that they're not creating, and the non-existent midfield as well. So it's interesting. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Do you know
but
what I find interesting, right? So I was speaking to a couple of United fans,
Yeah.
and they were saying how against Liverpool, the first 5-10 minutes was really good. Remember when we were watching it? I was like, I think Man United can win this. Like,
They didn't look bad.
But they were saying how after the offside goal from Trent went in, it's like they reverted back
to their old ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were saying how that's what's scary. They're like they can see the new ideas that Ten Hag is putting in with the new team and a new system coming in.
Yeah.
But it's just that mentality of reverting back to, oh shit, okay, here we go again kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out of that throughout the season. Because if they do, I'm not saying that it's an easy ticket to top 4, but they can challenge a Chelsea, Newcastle. I can't believe we're in that conversation. Aston Villa to that top 4 spot, right? But If they
We're in that
don't,
conversation?
we are in that
But
conversation.
do you think
unfortunately.
that they've done
With
enough?
Brighton and that.
Do you think that
No,
do you
you
think
are
they've done
still.
enough in that transfer? Do you like? There's two questions. Do you think they've done enough in that transfer window to be in that conversation? Because let's not forget they won
100%.
the FA Cup, but they finished 8th. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next question is: do you think he is under the most pressure out of all of these top clubs that you just mentioned, including the others, obviously?
He's under the most pressure 100% because he's had several years to deliver this, and he keeps going on there saying I'm not Harry Potter, and he keeps talking about I've won 2 trophies already.
But do you think that that's not a fair point?
No,
Do you
no, no.
think that football
It's-
fans nowadays are getting too hung up on
But
the
you
type
gotta
of football
remember-
that is being played
but-
rather
but
than the
Sam,
trophies that is being won?
Sam, you have to remember, these aren't just
that's what I'm
football
saying, we
fans.
spoke
They are
about it.
Manchester United fans. Imagine having all of that glory, all of that weight on your shoulders as a fan base. You've watched what Liverpool had to go through for 30 years. You don't want to be that club, no. You don't want to be that club.
there's very
You've
few-
watched it happen to your rival. They went trophyless for how long? Like, no, you don't want that for your club.
But
And
there's
that's
still-
why there's a lot of pressure on him. How you're playing football. F the trophies that you F the trophies that you're bringing. You haven't bought us the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. We need something, you know?
I get what you're
we need
saying.
to see
I
a
get what you're
direction
saying.
going that way.
But like for me, I'm seeing football it's like it's so simple. You start a season,
Simple.
there's 4 trophies to win.
Yeah.
You've won 1 of 4 for the last 2 years. Yeah. When you're looking back on those seasons, or in 10 years, you're not gonna think about how bad you was during that season. You're gonna look at the honours and you'll see, 2024 we won the FA Cup. We
Yeah.
beat our neighbours City, and then at the same time, yes, the football is not great.
Yeah.
But there are teams that are playing good football and are not winning things.
No, but you know what it is, Sam? It's like we spoke about this before.
us.
It's
I didn't say names
there's just
because
a-
I'm not trying to send shots. I'm just saying.
but it's real.
There's
It's
just
real.
there's a few clubs in the world where what you're saying is correct, but there are a few clubs in the world where there's an expectation
Real
where
Madrid expects
there's
that.
there's the way you do it, and I was gonna say Real Madrid's one of them.
Different.
No,
it's different.
It's not.
You know why it is different? Because the difficulty level of the Premier League is levels
here we
above
go.
La Liga.
It doesn't matter.
If we talk about the amount of winners that have won the Premier League in the last 15 years, there's been 6 or 7.
No, but Sam, like you just
in
said,
La Liga, there's been 3.
no, but the thing is, it's possible because as you just mentioned, the neighbours in the same city are doing exactly what the expectations are of United. There are a few clubs in the world where
Yes.
they look at you and go, "We want you to win trophies," and there's
Yeah.
a way you're meant to do it. And
Yeah.
it's Real Madrid, Manchester United. Those are probably the top 2, and then obviously you're going to trickle into your Barcelonas and the
Barcelona,
rest of them.
yeah.
But yes, United fans expect we want you to win, but we want you to
100.
win.
You can't have it all, man. Fans can't have it all.
No, it's greedy, but
Because
that's just
it's-
Because
it's
you know the
greedy.
jubilation that they felt on the last day of the season when they won that FA Cup took away all. We all know United fans. You know how happy they were on that day.
When we won, when we was in the same situation, yeah, we finished 8th. Yeah, obviously United is United. They're not Arsenal, or whatever. The way United fans got into us, like, oh, you got FA Cup, but you finished 8th, right? So they have expectations now. They're like, no, you can't do that. But now your team is now doing the same thing. I've always said, yeah, going into this season, United fans shouldn't expect everything to just click like this. You spent 200 mil. You've got all of these new players coming in. You can't just expect something just to click, click, click.
Do you think
but
Ten
it needs
Hag
to
can
start
do it?
clicking.
Do you think Ten Hag is
Get
the
that
man?
bald man out of there, man.
You don't think he can do it?
No, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. What can he do? You
It's-
finished
it's-
8th with an FA Cup, like an FA Cup that. Yes, of course they had to go toe to toe with City, but City just got the
you know-
flipping 4P. Like, do you think they care about the bloody FA? Like,
You know what's mad?
on,
I
man.
don't even think United fans are, as per se, mad at Ten Hag. They're more so mad at the plays and the performances that they're dishing out. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, they can see what Ten Hag is trying to do.
I
But
don't
if
think
the
they can.
players keep reverting back to their old way, like, obviously, like we said, Rashford he just needs a new journey.
Yeah.
He does need a new journey.
Yeah.
And then obviously they've still
But
got.
Ten Hag kept him on, even though he wasn't playing well
Who
in
was he
that
gonna
game
bring
against.
on?
But he brought on Ahmad and took off Garnacho, and Garnacho was
and that's
more
where a lot of
effective
people are
in
a
that
little
game.
bit like, why aren't you starting Ahmad? Ahmad needs to start more.
And then also Casemiro, like the mistakes that he made in that game, it's so interesting because like if you're a manager, what United, the team that United play, it seems like it's just simple. It's written on the wall. The back line, I don't even have to say it. It should make sense with the signings that you brought in. The Lick should be starting.
Yep.
Dalot left back, Mazraoui right back. The midfield, it should be Casemiro, Menu, Bruno, and then up top it should make sense. But I think when they broke it down on Sky Sports, and the individual mistakes that some of these players are making, it's like, I don't know who to blame. Is it the manager that's telling them to do these things, or is it the players that are just not capable of like staying switched on in every moment?
Players.
Because someone like Casemiro, we've seen his credentials.
Do that.
That pass, those wayward passes he was doing in that game, that's not Ten Hag.
But then
like he
even
was
those
lazy.
wayward passes,
He was-
let's be honest, if that happens at an Arsenal, you're still not conceding because your back line is gonna be switched on. If
it
something
depends.
happens, no, but you've got to think about it because for the third goal, that they scored when Manu got
He got handled, man.
when he got that was a nice watch. That's a
He
lesson.
need a
in
wake up
it. That's
call. A nice wake up call.
After that, Dallo was like halfway up the pitch. He was in a position that if he was a bit closer to his centre backs, Salah's not just getting a free shot on goal. So, and even Onana, if he just takes 2 steps, that's an easy save. So there's certain things that's like, okay, it's 3 mistakes, but it shouldn't lead to like 3 goals just like that. I feel like there's more to it than just Ten Hag. I feel like that there's still so much problems with United.
I feel like, I'm with you. There's still a lot of problems with United. It's personnel in that team. I just don't think the team personnel-wise are cohesive enough to make this work. It's not, if you want to play Ten Hag's football, you are going to be playing a high line. Dallo should be that high up. Your cover should be the one that's preventing that goal from coming. No one was there to cover. Nobody. And that's the problem.
You can't be asking Casemiro to cover that.
But Casemiro, he's the cause of point blank period. He's the cause of those goals.
That's interesting, man. So what on final on United, if they do keep Ten Hag, what position are we saying they finish? From what we've seen so far this season, and the players that are coming in, Agate's still yet to come in. De Ligt has just started 1 game. Razraoui looks really good. Højlund's coming back from injury. Like with all his pieces, do you think that they will be able to make European football at least?
Yeah. There's 8 spots.
I think they'll make it.
They'll make Europe.
I don't know. I kind of just I feel like he might even get fired during the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he might go.
I think out of like the top 6 traditional top
And
6,
you know who's going to be
first?
replacing, right?
Southgate.
Sitting right next to him.
He's sitting right
Oh,
next
Van
to him.
Nistelrooy. Yeah.
Sitting there waiting.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see
I'd
if that
rather Van
happens.
Nistelrooy than Tuchel, Sha.
Yeah, if they asked Tuchel, he didn't want to roll.
Thank God, because
But-
I think that will probably be my 13th reason.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
that'll
that
be
would be
dark.
difficult to see still.
That'll be so dark.
But let's move on to our beloved Chelsea quickly, because I feel like on the pitch,
we have to, bro.
from and this is
Come
from my
on,
perspective,
guys, come on.
This is from my perspective. Every time something seems to be going all right, there's always something off of the pitch that just counteracts that, and it just adds to the drama around Chelsea. This time we had a 6-2 win against Wolves. Then draw against Palace as a screamer. Chelsea could have scored more.
Should have saved it.
Goalkeeper could have saved it, but it was side netting.
Terrible.
It was side netting.
Terrible.
It was side netting. If we're being honest, that was a side netting. If I show you now, if I show you the
but
goal
you know
now,
what
it was literally side netting, and it was like 5 players in front of him. Come on. I'm not saying Sanchez is the great, but that was side netting. Regardless, 1-1. Not the worst result. You could have won. But now the big storyline around Chelsea is
The civil war.
the civil war with the owners, Clear Lake and Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley has 40% or around 40%, I believe. Clear Lake have 60%. They've butted heads around the transfer strategy, around managers, around the stadium as well. And now it's actually in the public eye that they both don't want to sell, but they both want the other halves out. They want to buy the other half out. Do we feel like that this type of drama will affect how Chelsea will do the season? The reason I say that is because there's still been drama around Chelsea throughout this whole season so far, and it's not looked as bad on the pitch. There's a philosophy that the fans, the players, and everyone has seen.
Slowly
Whether you like it or not, you can see it's there. And you've got a result here. You don't play that bad against City. Like, it's not been that bad. Do you think that because of what's going on off the pitch, it's going to affect what's happening?
This is gonna be this. Yeah,
Why
it
would
is.
it? It's got
It
nothing to
is
do with them.
because what's gonna end up this civil war going on with Chelsea is going to be worse than what Lukaku done to Chelsea at that time.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, everything trickles down. If this is the owner of your club, that's your foundation, right? If your foundation is broken, you crumble. That's it.
Yeah,
that's just the facts of football. That's just the facts of life.
But okay. Your two owners are beefing. Cool. As players, it's just your job and the coach. Well, to be fair, it's your manager, it's the coach, head coach, manager. I don't know what they call him these days, but basically, it's his job to make sure you're not hearing anything from the top.
Yeah.
And you're just meant to focus on going out on that pitch and getting the results. As far as the owners beefing as who owns this and what we're going to do that shouldn't matter to you as a player on that pitch. It should be, we're training here with the manager. We're going on a pitch on Saturday, Sunday. We're trying to get the result. We do it again. Unless all of a sudden Todd Bowley decides
to come on that pitch and he's saying, Cole Palmer's not playing.
Yeah, or
because I bought him. Or something like that.
Or he's there watching you boys in training going, no, you lot start to do this and do that. Or he starts taking away you lot's
and the
lunches,
reason,
you know what I mean?
the thing is, the reason why I agree with that, and I've seen it from and trust me, I'm not like overly positive with Chelsea because we've had so much reason to be negative around being a fan, yeah. But the reason why I agree with you is because when you look at every top club in recent years, yeah, they have had issues with owners that haven't necessarily trickled down as much as we would have thought it would have. City won a treble after the 115 charges came out. That could have disrupted their whole flow. Yeah. It didn't. With Tuchel, when we had the war, the sanctions, everything, he was talking about getting bus to flip in all of this. We still did
two
all right.
scenarios with the club in harmony.
Yeah, we still did all right.
Because 115 charges, the club wanted to stand together. Yeah. Then Tuchel and our sanctions, the club wanted to stand together. This is a club that wants to beef each other.
In the same breath, you're saying with 115 charges, yeah, this could affect the team potentially even getting relegated. So for me as a player, I might be thinking about that, but still they held it together. Yeah. In this one, it's just like all I'm seeing is that my owners are going head to head on who wants to buy someone out. That's not really got nothing to do with me right now.
Because it's not like
I can focus on the game.
You know why this is a little bit different,
right?
Yeah. Our players are kids in their early stages of their careers. This might mess it up. They're on their phone to their agents, bro. What on?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
This is the early stage of your career, dog.
By the way, you're sitting there thinking, right, that like you see and I hate this is why I don't like to talk about Chelsea sometimes. Yeah? It's not like we have the Lampards, the Mikkels, the Drogbas that know the game and know their thing. These are new young players coming in, trying to learn and understand while playing for Chelsea.
But you're saying
this is a lot of pressure on young players.
I get what you're saying.
Had to come out in an interview the other day in England and be like, "It's not that bad in the dressing room.
Yeah, but
there's a lot going on, but it's not that bad."
That's the point.
That's the point.
And I get that, but at the end of the day, is that what you got to understand at the same time is one of them things where it's like, this will trickle down to the players.
But my thing is, it can trickle down. Don't get twisted. They're going to be reading all of this stuff, but it won't affect. It's not going to affect their bread. It's not affecting their future. It's only affecting what the.
It does affect their future. Though.
You know why it doesn't? You know why it doesn't? Because think about it realistically. The biggest issue with Chelsea is that the first year Todd Bowley had his way. Yeah. The second year Egbali had his way, and they're still trying to figure out whose system makes the most sense. Yeah. I think the biggest issue comes from the stadium and how they've not been able to progress that as well as they would have wanted to. But at the same time, Todd even came out and said that he's bought into the buying young and letting them develop because he did it with his franchise in America. Egbali's more of a businessman, and he's already proven that when you buy players, if they're not in the system, players can be sold for 5 or 6 million more. This team that you're talking about, Madueke, Cole Palmer, Caicedo, Enzo, all of these players now have experience in the Premier League. It's not a thing of, this is a young team. They're a young team by age, but they've all been here now. So it's not a thing of needing the 29, 28-year-olds. That's not an excuse anymore.
No,
it's actually not an excuse anymore.
But what you got to understand as well is that these owners have been very hands-on with Chelsea. We've seen, we've heard Todd Bowley wanted to come in, admit it. We've seen him on the pitch with the players. So, all right, we know things behind closed doors are very different, innit? So let's say there is some players that prefer Todd, but then Ed now taking over. How's that going to affect them?
But that always happens though.
I'm not even talking about that. That's a bit childish.
But sometimes things like that can have an effect.
No, for sure.
Do you know what?
That's going on right now. It's too much.
Here's what I think, right? I don't think it will affect the players to the extent that you're talking about, but I do think players will be looking and thinking, shit, what's going to happen next. And as a normal person, just in anywhere, even as a normal person in their job, you see shit like that happening, you're looking around because you're kind of thinking, all right, cool. If this goes to shits, what's my next move? Let's keep it a stack. Players like Cole Palmer, players like Enzo, players like Caicedo, players like, who else? Reece James, Gusto. Teams will look at them.
And it's calm.
And if an agent picks up the phone and says, you know, this shit with Chelsea, like, ugh, I'm not too sure where our players are going to be in the next couple of years. And they hear an offer.
But that's not the issue that's happening, though.
Wait. I'm not saying that's happening. We're talking about the effects that could happen. And that's an effect that could happen.
But you're saying it from a perspective of the disharmony from the owners trickles down in the sense of them there being uncertainty of the owners not wanting to continue with the project. It's not that. They just don't agree.
I'm not even saying that. It's all PR at the end of the day. Yeah. It's a PR game. But everything in football right now is on PR. Look, all of this shit is happening. Not being funny. When Chelsea got sanctioned, how many players picked up the phone? How many? A lot of them picked up the phone and said they want to get the hell out.
Who?
You and I both know.
No, that's not true though.
It is true.
It isn't. The only players. It's not true. No, but the only players that left were the players that were out of contract. And even at that only happened because they were out of contract. How many of them did we offer new contracts to and they turned it down? But that was 2 players because they were out of contract.
Crucial players that we offered contracts to and they said they want to get the hell out.
But think about it. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
When the newbies came in, the new heads came in, back doors, how many people just wanted out?
Wait, what do you mean?
How many people? Petr Cech, where is he?
It's not about wanting out. They
wanted out.
Todd Bowley came in and he said, we need to change up this whole system.
No.
That was a fact.
He wanted out. In fact, I'm not even...
It's been common knowledge that Petr Cech wanted out. But if you're seeing all of your peers leaving or being told that they need to leave because of the fact that we're going with a new direction. No, but he was a peers with Marina and all of these man. He literally was.
He's a legend of the club.
Yeah, but he had a role. He had a role.
It's different with him.
But that's what I'm saying. What you're talking about.
Advisory role. It's not like he was there saying, "Oh, we're gonna bring that transfer. We're gonna bring that."
But he was a part of it all. He was a part of it.
Business. He was there for the players.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
To up and leave. I'm not saying that this is going to happen.
No, but you're saying that it's like it could be likely. But that's so my point from initially was that at every top club, even at Arsenal, it happened when it was Kroenke and the other owner. Usmanov, and there was someone else. There was that issue with how much shares and all of this stuff that happened. Yeah. Same with United and the Glazer stuff that has been constant for the last 11 years. FSG as well, with which sporting director is going to come in. I've mentioned City, mentioned Chelsea. It happens. These players, you're still playing for. If you're looking at it now, we're saying how is it going to affect the players? Yeah, the reason why I'm saying it won't to the extent that Anita's saying is because they still have something to prove. It's not a thing of there's not if you don't play now, you're gonna get sold or whatever. You still, Enzo, the team, everything that's happening, they still have to prove that they are who they say they are. And it's not the owner saying, if you don't prove this, we're gonna lose. We're gonna take our shares and give it to someone, and that means you're gonna get sold. It's not a thing of losing money. It's about getting they're saying Todd's here, Egbali's here. We don't agree with each other. Let's buy each other out. But the money is there.
What I'm saying, I ain't saying none of that's gonna happen.
But you're saying it's gonna trickle. How can it trickle down to agents?
An agent could pick up the phone, see the mess, and don't want their player to be a part of that.
This ain't even the biggest mess that we've been in.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not. But it's a mess.
It's just going to be resolved very soon.
It's going to be resolved. And that's the thing. If it gets resolved, fine, la-di-da, we're all good. But if this continues for years and years and years, because of how public Chelsea is with their shit as well, like, we are so public with everything that's going on. And I really don't like I appreciate having the inside scoop on things that are happening back doors. But I really, really, really wish that we could just keep this in-house. Okay, there's civil wars in-house. When we heard about Arsenal's civil war, we don't know the crooks and the crannies of it. We don't. We don't know who said what. We saw the effect, but we didn't know who said what said this, which manager wanted it, which owner wanted it, which owner wanted this. Like, all of this is just a mess. And it's like, okay, so this owner wants to invest in young players. What if this owner goes? How am I going to feel? I'm a young player. What's going to happen to my future? What's going to happen to my career? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's all a big fat mess that needs to be nipped in the bud immediately.
I hear that point you said there about the young players, because from what I'm seeing from it is that Todd obviously would prefer having like the younger players and then them develop, and just like you said, I don't know who the other guys. Clearly, Egbali, he wants like he's a businessman. He wants more of that the 10-year player. So I get the point of like maybe the young players being like, well, if he don't like the young, because this is all everywhere. This is on every news outlet. It's everywhere. So if the young people sit there and be like, oh, so if Todd is the one who likes the young players, and this guy is probably a bit more different in that aspect. How is it going to be if he completely buys us out? What's going to happen with me?
The phone.
I get that, but I don't think so deep.
Wait, you know what? Just because I don't want to talk about Arsenal. At the end of the day, with Chelsea, how it's looking on the pitch is not that bad, and I really hope that we can figure out the midfield. But other than that, we seem exciting, we seem happy. Let's just hope that this civil war don't ruin the team.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But yeah,
you know what? Here's to more wins, guys. Yeah, this season's gonna be a positive one. I'm officially
being positive this season.
This season, and
that
guess
was not
what?
Positive.
No. But
that was a cry to the owners.
because I'm tired of the owners. I'm tired.
It's enough.
I love my club, but I've heard too much about the owners.
It's too much.
As for the team and the squad,
and the manager,
I'm not saying I fully bought into the Maresca era, but
it's looking positive.
It's looking very positive, and by the end of October, I will give you guys my verdict. Right. I am going to be positive from now on.
All right, love that. All right, we've only got a few minutes left.
Can we quickly just tap onto Everton, because that is
Everton need to get relegated.
Okay.
So this is what I was gonna go. So we've only got a few minutes left. Yeah. So let's go. The biggest surprise, like good surprise and bad surprise. So good surprise, I'd say Brighton, in terms of the business that they've done, how much they've spent, and how comfortable they already look under a manager that's only 3 years older than me.
Okay. Yeah.
I really think that Brighton have done well. Yes, I got you now. Do you know what I mean? But it's like they've done really well. The team looks comfortable. They've played really good football. Yeah. Like I'm really surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised.
We're playing
by
them
them
soon, so
yeah, that's gonna be a good game. What other good surprises have there been so far?
I can't even say it's a surprise, but
scoring goals
good.
already. He's still quality.
Onana, he's just shown that. Me and Coates were speaking about this the other day.
Yeah,
Onana's just shown everything that we knew he was, and he's just doing it. And it's making every other club that was interested, Arsenal, look at that situation and turn around and say we should have
got him.
What about who else, or what other teams?
Obviously Liverpool for me. But I think a nice surprise for Chelsea, because I'm going to keep it positive. Madueke really stepping up this season, and he's really showing.
Hat-trick already. That's quality.
And the thing is, I respect it, because one, he went to Wolverhampton and said, "You'll see, he's dead." Then he scored a hat-trick on the head top. And two, because there were so many rumours circulating that he was next to leave, and he was like, "What? Me leave?" Boom. I respect him so much. So yeah, nice surprise for Madueke.
Anyone else in but any team that's come up, any team that's mid?
Leicester busing case.
Okay, yeah. Beat the system.
First team to get away with it. I was like, fair play. Shout out to their lawyers. That was a nice little loophole they found. So shout out to them.
What about Fulham and their new Hayland, the era that they're in?
Do you know what? Emil Smith-Rowe scoring the other week really made me smile.
Yeah, solid. Good.
I smiled.
Love that. All right, let's go shocks of the season so far. You mentioned Everton already.
Everton the hell out of this league. I'm so sorry. They have stolen too many chances to stay. Do you know I was at that? I was at the Everton. I was at the Everton Bournemouth game.
Oh yeah.
Shock of my life. I was 2-0 up. I was texting my girl Marva. She's an Everton fan. I was texting her like, "Oh my god." She was like, "Anita, you go back to see your win before I do." And then I was like, "Yeah, you guys are playing really well." And Marva said, "You know what? Hold that thought." And I said, "Nah, come on, man. Get to the 85th minute." I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm like, I'm texting Shiz. There was a bird sitting behind me, just sitting there. A bird sat on a chair behind me for the full 90 minutes. I'll show you guys a picture. For the full 90 minutes, right?
It was a fan.
Someone said it was someone said it was Ricarlison, but I didn't say it. But anyway, 85 minutes. Bournemouth get one back. You're thinking, surely not. You see the Everton fans around me, they're nervous. And in my head, I'm like, come on, man. Like, surely you're fine. 2-2. I say, yeah. I'm sitting there. I'm on the edge of my seat now. I'm like, woo. I hope this doesn't go bad for Everton. Last minute of the game, I could not believe it. And you know the sound of the chairs lifted up like that? in unison, everybody just walked
That's
out of the
mad.
stadium.
It's toxic right now. Even the stuff that he did
Insane.
with
They
Neil
didn't even
Maupay
stay to
before
boo.
he left.
Yeah.
Like that was toxic. Yeah, they're in trouble
Bloody
this season.
hell.
Someone else
Mate.
another team that I think that I expected just more from just because of their window is Spurs. You know, I feel like they've not looked like that comfortable. Like they're
they
on
haven't
4
got going.
points still, so it's not that bad. It's not like a terrible start, but they started so well last season.
They always do.
But then that's what I'm saying. They started well last season. This season, they're still conceding the chances that they were conceding last year. Their defense don't really have any like. Yeah, I think Van der Ven's now out because of an injury, or he missed the third game. But yeah, man, it doesn't look like what I expected. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Even with their window, it was like Solanke, all right, I get it. But then the other ones were very young boys, weren't they? There was Archie Gray.
Yeah, he's quality though.
No, he is.
Shout out Odegaard, though.
Yeah,
Odegaard,
Oh, that's my
good
guy,
player,
man.
good player.
Even
Good
the other guy
player.
looked good. Bergvall?
Oh,
Bergvall.
yes. That's the guy, Bergvall. Do you not remember? You was watching him and you were like, "Rah, this guy's looking kind of crazy." And then what is it? Vicario shouted at him one time. Did you not see him?
When he made
He
he yelled at
him, and I
for a
felt
little
so
mistake,
bad for him. I was
but
like,
he needed that though. He needed that though.
"Oh man."
That is so jokes. Okay, so that's fair. There's
United is my
there's
shop.
not been United.
Yeah,
Yeah, United's
shop.
fair.
No,
'cause-
United's a bad one.
Yeah.
That's a really bad one.
Okay. Has there been and this for everyone, just last point, has there been like a prediction that you made at the start of the season that you've changed now after 3 games?
Yeah,
What's that?
Enzo figuring out Enzo.
Okay. That's fair. Because that needs to happen. Or he needs to
Yeah,
What was
sit
your
on
what?
the bench. Enzo figuring out Enzo.
yeah. I've changed my mind. It's not happening. Sorry.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
you thought Enzo could
Fair
figure
enough.
out
You
Enzo?
know what it is? I thought I don't know what it is. It's the same name in it. I was thinking, all right, someone.
That's
There's got to
nice.
be a manager.
He's your
that's got a
namesake,
philosophy.
yeah.
No, but do you know what it is? There's got to be a manager.
He looks
with-
so good for Argentina, though. Did you see him in the last game? He
yeah,
played
but
so
he
well.
always looks good
But that's
for-
what I'm saying. It's
Like,
weird.
it's
It's,
like-
it's weird.
I
He
just
needs the
thought-
players around him to tick.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. Enzo.
He just
He needs runners. He needs
another
runners
league.
around him.
He needs another league.
Yeah, I can hear that, to be fair. I
Another-
think my one is City just being so good. I didn't think it would be this good. Like it's not.
Yeah, man. Mahrez
Yeah,
is back.
yeah. It's weird. Doku looks good. Like
I can never.
Grealish
count
off the
City.
bench. Like everything just looks good. Nunes is even now getting minutes.
To
Like,
be fair, I thought City would run out of steam a little bit, but I've still got an idea that they might run out. of
I
steam.
think I think Pep's told them that this is his last year, and he's not told anyone. And I think he told Gundogan that same thing.
He
And
said, "Come back, please."
this is
He's a
and I think
comeback.
that they're gonna do the 5p, and he's gonna cut out.
With his favourite players.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. We tried to get through a lot.
Hey, what about
Sorry
the
if we
FC
didn't
ratings,
touch
fam?
on. We don't have enough time actually. Sorry we weren't able to touch on like everything that we would have wanted to.
Darn it.
I think there was a few sections that we went on. You know, the Rice section, Chelsea section. You know,
That
it's
Rice
hard.
section was
That
all
Rice
copes.
section. Yeah,
All
he wanted to do an actual
wanted proper
flipping
civil war.
in real life.
You lot are deep in
like-
it. That's what.
Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap
It's a
it
yellow
up.
card. It's done. It's a yellow card.
That is hilarious. But
Jesus.
let us know if any of your predictions changed on social. Shout us all individually in the comments on YouTube as well. We'll be back next week, I believe. And yeah, man, getting questions. Anything that you want us to talk about, so let us know. And we'll see you guys next time. Has anyone got anything else to say?
No.
Chelsea.
Up the shell, says have it.
Arsenal!
Come on.
See you guys later. Peace, peace, peace.
Yo, guys, it's us from Keep It 90. Massive thanks to Spotify for supporting us. Have you given us a follow yet? If you haven't, make sure you do.